Welcome to Englewood After Dark, Episode 14, Strange Bedfellows. Englewood After Dark is a serialized horror audio drama, and for the best experience, we recommend starting with Episode 1. Content warnings for this episode include discussions of murder, kidnapping, drugging, and conspiracies. Hey there, intrepid mystery lovers, and welcome back to Englewood After Dark. I'm Finn Nightingale, your favorite disaster bisexual, and with me always is my co-host, Sappho's close personal friend, Eve Pemberly.
Very close. Very personal.
Friend.
And tonight on Englewood After Dark, we have a very upsetting guest.
Eve.
And long-time podcast menacer of us specifically, Charles David Huntington III.
Confirmed Brotherhood of Oakenash dabbler.
Or so he says.
Yeah, for all we know, he could have been a main player, but Mr. Huntington is here to shed some light on our current topic of interest, the locked room murders.
For those not in the know, or who are just tuning in for the first time, the locked room murders were two murders that happened on campus in the 2010s in Sycamore Dorm.
Called the locked room murders because, inexplicably, both of our young victims were killed inside their own locked dorm rooms.
He just did aggressive air quotes around the word inexplicably because he's still convinced it's ghosts.
And my partner in crime here remains stubbornly convinced of the opposite, despite all evidence to the contrary. And now she's flipping me off.
We've also been pursuing two officially unrelated deaths in what the police at the time considered a murder-suicide.
But that, given the nature of the deaths and their associations with Sycamore Dorm, we thought deserved an examination.
Yeah, I still don't see what our special guest is going to be useful for. If he's really just a dabbler, what could he possibly know about these deaths?
That, I'm not entirely sure either. Perhaps he'll just tell us about all the cult shenanigans?
With old Chucky boy coming, I'm surprised Seb's not here.
Are you? Did you see how much tequila he drank at that party? My surly protector is currently a lifeless husk buried under his bedsheets.
My Silly Protector sounds like the title to one of those terrible erotica things.
You know, I do have pictures of him shirtless on horseback. We could make this a reality.
I don't have a death wish, but you go on right ahead.
I'm sorry, take her, not me!
Hello, Professor.
Oh, hello, Professor.
You're both in here.
Yep, every Thursday.
Is everything alright, Professor?
Oh, yes. Please continue.
Take her instead?
What? Seb has, like, a code of conduct. He'd never hurt you if he went after me.
So why offer me up like a sacrificial virgin?
I panicked.
Oh my god. You're lucky he liked the horse, you know?
Oh, thank you so much, Charlotte, for the horse, by the way. He was a perfect guest at our party.
Even if he did shit everywhere.
He's a horse.
And tried to eat the happy birthday banner.
Yeah, that one was just bad manners, honestly.
But at least he made it back in one piece.
Not that he was ever in any danger.
I mean, unless you count Carmen's drunken attempt to liberate him into the night as danger.
He did not succeed, and we did not spend an hour tracking him back down using the moonlight and our phone flashlights.
Awfully specific there, bud.
Speaking of being very specific,
Holy transition, Batman.
we received a very interesting email this week.
Oh, right. Nadia.
Hi, Nadia. Thank you so much for writing into the show.
Nadia is an alumni of Englewood, and she actually lived in Sycamore Dorm at the time of the locked room murders.
And she was a criminology student, now a crime scene photographer in Boston.
She reached out because she was there the night Laurie got killed.
And that girl was thorough. According to Nadia, she locked down the scene, took everyone's phones, and kept everyone in their dorm rooms until the police arrived, ensuring an uncontaminated crime scene.
Yep. Girl after my own heart.
And also, crusher of Eve's dreams. Nadia confirms that there was no tampering and also ended her email with a, "Sorry, Evie."
Now I know why Valerie hates that.
But you know what this means? It has to be ghosts.
It's like you want me to fight you.
Excuse me? I'd never want that. You are terrifying.
Thank you.
But we both know I'm right.
Finn.
Even if you're not able to consciously admit I'm right, subconsciously you know in your heart that my answer is the only answer.
Like a deranged thought crime?
Exactly. Wait, no. Lady Killjoy leaving her phone on for the recording.
Sorry.
Is it Carmen?
Yeah, jeez. Apparently the windows were open again, and since it's still raining out, Carmen's pillows are soaked through.
Again?
This week has been hell. You know, you move into the dorm and you're like, wow, it's so pretty and old and like dark academia aesthetic. And then you actually live here and the floorboards are wonky, the bathrooms all have no windows and are filled with mildew, and your windows decide that they aren't bound by mortal latches anymore.
Huh. Weird.
I hate that tone.
Hey, I'm just saying it sounds like someone might be
If you say haunted, I will throw my phone at your head.
really unlucky.
Yeah, maybe.
Here, have a cookie.
Thanks.
We'll be back, intrepid mystery lovers, after this commercial break. Hey there, intrepid mystery lovers. You may have noticed that Eve and I dropped our sexualities at the beginning of this episode. Well, that's because this week we have a special announcement to make on behalf of the LGBTQIA+ Alliance here at Englewood. Next week, in conjunction with the theater department, the Alliance will be streaming the Rocky Horror Picture Show in Theater B at 7 p.m. on Friday. Not only will you get to sing along with all your favorite songs, but there will also be a costumed after-party. Tickets are running for $5 each, and the proceeds raised are being donated to at-risk LGBTQIA+ youth. So come along for some fun and to help out a good cause. Alright, time to face the music.
I thought thespians liked that.
Not when the music is Charles Huntington III.
I'll let our guest in. Chuck?
Charles will do.
Chuck! Comfortable?
I could have done without being left outside the room like a dog.
That's your own fault. We gave you a time to arrive.
And I arrived early, because I'm diligent. The least you could do is offer me a chair.
Prickly, aren't we? Weren't you the one that wanted this interview?
We all wanted this interview. You and Finn have stated as much in prior episodes.
I see you've done your research.
Of course. That was the job they gave me, after all. Research.
All right, Chuck. I'm listening.
So, first question, Chuck. Not to sound unenthused, because I am actually super excited to have a real-life cultist to interview, but why did you want to be interviewed?
Perhaps we can start at the beginning? Chuck clearly has something to say, but I think we'd like some context first.
Well, Chuck, what leads a regular man to a life of oak and ash?
If I play along with your theatrics, will you let me speak my piece?
The spotlight is yours.
I suppose I should have seen this coming. Fine. My name is Charles David Huntington III, and yes, that is my real name.
We know.
First, I was never a cultist. The Brotherhood isn't a cult. And I was not involved in your kidnapping, Nightingale.
But you know who was involved.
There are much more important things set in motion.
More important things than kidnapping? I await with bated breath.
Right. Well, I was actively recruited. It all started when I was tutoring this kid. Well, I say kid. He was my age, but there was nothing happening in that head.
Jesus.
The boy's dad was in all the right circles, and I wanted to make connections. So here I am, visiting this kid 3 times a week to make sure he knows the difference between World War I and II, when his father takes an interest in me.
Dilf Manor?
I didn't think too much of it at first, but he seemed interested in my brain. He told me he liked that about me. He liked my focus, my intensity, my resolve. He told me he had some associates who would be interested in my research talents. And I ate it right up.
So you were recruited purely for your skill set?
My father also keeps influential company, which surely made me an appealing target. I know many brothers were recruited purely on the latter basis.
So you were a special case? Is that what you were telling us?
An elite brother?
I'm not going to tell you what they called my type.
Hey, you can't keep secrets. I thought this was a confession.
It's not a secret. It's embarrassing. The new generation drank too much of their own Kool-Aid and got carried away with stupid titles.
Oh, goody. We're getting to the Kool-Aid. Yeah. I noticed that somewhere along the line you went from tutoring a struggling student to kidnapping and murdering people, and trying to frame it on demons. Don't you shrug at me like I've said something crazy. How do you get from point A to point B here? I'm completely fucking bewildered.
Can I continue?
Sure, please, make this make sense.
So they brought me in for research purposes, old folklore and urban legends mostly. Then came the stories, malevolent spirits and entities from elsewhere.
Ugh.
Yes, that was my reaction too. I'd been hired to research and tell campfire stories to a circus of clowns with too much money. But they were testing the waters, seeing if I'd bite. I did, of course. I wasn't one for superstition, but researching superstition makes for an interesting work. Spirits have played a significant role in every culture since the dawn of time.
They really bought into their own shtick.
Once I'd showed an interest, they'd brought me into the fold. And once you're that far in, it's hard to go back. I was compiling historical references and already documented accounts from a broad range of sources to present. I didn't get out there and discover anything new so much as I curated and collated what was already available.
So I bet you know which urban legends are perpetrated by actual supernatural entities, right?
None of them are supernatural, Finn. He's a historian who worked for a secret society, not the bloody Ghostbusters. His job was finding ways for the Brotherhood to exploit urban legends and hide their crimes.
But what about the locked room murders? They're still recent, and if you were part of their sinister circle, you'd have heard something, right?
He'd have heard something if the Brotherhood were involved.
That's hard to answer. Some brothers were investigating.
Huh. I definitely believe that one. It has to be easiest to kill someone in their sleep, and that's made easier if you can leave them in their room and blame it on a serial killer.
That's not what we did. Besides, they didn't find much more than what you already know.
If that's not what you did, then why were you investigating?
For the same reason as you.
The Brotherhood of Oak and Ash, who drug and abduct people, wanted to catch a killer.
We already know they're interested in supernatural elements. Maybe they were trying to make contact? Having a ghostly killer on your side would make it easier to silence your enemies.
That's also not what we did.
Then what did you do, Chuck? Because right now, I know that what you did is abduct and kill people. That doesn't exactly fill me with goodwill.
I wasn't part of that.
But you admitted to working with the Brotherhood, right? Did you keep working with the Brotherhood when you learned they abducted people?
That is complicated.
Then uncomplicate it for us, Chuck. You worked with thugs who abducted and murdered people, even if you allegedly...
They abducted and murdered people! They! Third person! Them! I never wanted to be part of the dirty little crime empire festering in the lower ranks. Those assholes saw the Brotherhood as a blunt instrument to swing about and coerce anyone they didn't like. They didn't care to cultivate nor even maintain anything their forebears left to them. And that led to their undoing. I knew what was important. I was trying to be the greater good.
The greater good? Please, Orwell, tell me about this greater good of yours.
Christ, you're clueless. You have no idea what you're dealing with.
Then tell us.
You're doing a piss poor job of clearing your name. If you're here for some kind of repentance, then give us something already.
What on earth are you talking about? You think I'm here to repent? I don't give a damn about repentance.
Wait, then what are you here for?
I'm here to help you, you oaf. I'm here to tell you as much as I can without crossing a line.
Because you've been so helpful this far.
Once again, I cannot talk about certain things. It's hard to give you anything meaningful like this.
Why the fuck not?
Because it's confidential information.
Considering we've been through a campaign of abductions and intimidation already, I think we can handle it.
Since you are determined that I'm being disingenuous, fine. I'm going to tell you what I can, and hope to God you take it to heart. If that doesn't make sense to you, don't flip your lid and accuse me of being cryptic. Finn, earlier you asked me if I know which urban legends are perpetuated by supernatural entities.
Yeah. And I would still love an answer to that.
Your locked room murders were perpetuated by a supernatural entity.
Ugh.
I wasn't involved further. I don't know the details. But the Brotherhood is only interested in supernatural occurrences. If these were mundane killings, they wouldn't have paid attention.
That's enough.
Absolutely not. I need...
No. Eve's right. I've put my name and reputation on the line here trying to help. I've tried to speak, and you just don't want to listen. We're done here. For the lesser evil can be seen in comparison with the greater evil as a good, since this lesser evil is preferable to the greater one, and whatever is preferable is good. That's Aristotle.
What?
There are worse things than the Brotherhood of Oak and Ash in this town. And now that you've crippled the Brotherhood, good luck. You're going to need it.
Get out.
Eve, you...
Please. Please don't. He barely told us anything at all. All he did was appeal to your insistence on ghosts while giving us zero proof of anything.
A real-life ex-member of the actual Brotherhood of Oak and Ash just walked in here and told us that they are obsessed with the supernatural, and you're going to deny that?
I'm going to deny that he gave us any evidence, any proof, any reason to believe his story.
If he was lying, then why would he come in here with his real name and spill these details? Maybe he didn't directly confess to anything, but that was pretty incriminating. Why would he ask to talk to us and incriminate himself like that?
Please don't tell me that you trust him. The Brotherhood has already tried to undermine us in the past. He's lending credence to his lie to lead us away from the truth.
Eve, if there's one thing I am an expert on, it's acting. I can tell you, he was not acting. He was also genuinely pissed off. I really don't think he's still with the Brotherhood.
This whole interview is so fucking ridiculous. Cut to the ad break.
Hey there, guys and gals. I've got a question for you. Do you ever wake up some mornings feeling like you've got too much blood? A plethora of plasma? A plentitude of platelets? A luxuriance of leukocytes? An exuberance of I can't pronounce that. A whole lot of red blood cells? Well, come on down to the annual Englewood University Blood Drive next Thursday. We need A's, we need B's, we need AB's, AO's, and everything in between. Whether you're A negative sort or inclined to B positive, Come on down and have your vital essence harvested for those in need. Lollipops will be provided.
Welcome back, everyone. So after all that, I think it's best we just get back on track with the locked room murders. Last time, we...
Are you serious?
Finn, for the sake of my sanity, please just drop this.
Look, if you'd rather we take a moment to process all this and keep recording afterwards, I'm fine with that, but don't tell me you just want to steamroll through everything that just happened.
What happened is exactly what I expected would happen. We invited a lunatic on our show, and he spouted a bunch of lunacy. Shocking, I know.
We can't just discount everything he says because he's a member of the Brotherhood.
Didn't you yourself say they were obsessed weirdos who saw ghosts around every corner whether or not they were there?
Yes, I did, and the way they dealt with their beliefs was horrifying, but that doesn't automatically make them wrong.
Absolutely not. We're not enabling some psycho's beliefs by acknowledging them and treating them as reasonable concerns. Letting these people use paranormal bullshit to justify their actions is disgusting, and I won't even entertain the thought.
Even if you don't believe in ghosts, at the very least, this is an insight into what the Brotherhood of Oak and Ash believed. Don't we owe it to our fans to at least discuss it?
Half our fans are even more ghost crazy than you are. You really want to risk putting the idea in their heads that the Brotherhood might have been right?
Of course not, but...
No buts.
Yes, buts. What if this helps us with our investigation into the locked room murders? So far, all we're running into are dead ends, and at some point you're gonna have to start considering...
It is not ghosts. Can we please just drop this and talk about it off air?
Fine. I'll drop the Brotherhood.
Thank you.
Because it's time for Finn's Occult Corner.
Seriously? Again?
Feels like they're picking on us when it happens while we're recording. But we're back, and just in time for my Occult Corner.
Well, at least the power didn't go out for a second time.
It would have been excellent proof, though.
At the very least, we can end the recording on a light-hearted note.
Maybe. Maybe not. Depends who answers the call.
Oh god, did you actually make a spirit telephone?
Prototype is in the works, but I lack the proper funding for my R&D division. Though apparently there used to be a spirit telephone on campus. The Cypress phone booth.
Finn.
Anyway, without the existence of a spirit telephone, we'll have to go old school.
Yeah. The Hasbro board.
Yeah, get all your snark out now. Once we start, you've got to be serious, okay?
I only promised to try.
Eve, I'm being serious here. Screwing around with this stuff can be dangerous if you don't do it right. So please, for my sake.
If I can't think of something serious to say, I won't speak.
Good. Now, let's go over the rules. Rule number 1, never contact the other side alone. We got that one covered.
Begrudgingly.
Rule number 2, turn out any lights. If you need more light to see, use candles.
Are ghosts scared of the light like humans are scared of the dark?
I don't know, I don't make the rules. I just trust them. Rule number 3, never do it in a graveyard. I assume because there'd be too many spirits vying for attention. Rule number 4, begin with introductions and end by saying goodbye. The connection to the beyond isn't severed if you don't.
I mean, it's just polite to anyways.
And an additional rule that my super secret paranormal confidant has added to this list, never contact the dead in your own house.
And where, pray tell, are normal people supposed to do this? I mean, we're doing it in a recording studio for obvious reasons, but are people really supposed to go to the park and do this in public?
What's worse? Some slight embarrassment if someone walks in? Or risk an entity latching onto your home? Ghosts like to latch themselves onto locations, and I know your room is already haunted, but ow!
I told you I'd throw my phone at you if you said it was haunted.
That was like 20 minutes ago!
The statement stands.
Fine then, we wouldn't want a ghost to latch itself onto your totally clear, definitely not haunted dorm room. Happy?
Satisfied.
Good enough. Last rule, have one person be the speaker.
So I'm not allowed to talk at all?
We can speak to each other all we want, but only one of us, me, should be addressing the ghost to avoid causing confusion. We're contacting the Beyond here. I imagine it's a struggle for them already. Now, Let me go hit the lights.
I'm assuming you brought candles?
Always be prepared, Eve. They're in my bag. Can you grab it? Alright, all set. Now, place your hand on the planchet.
The what?
The little wood thing with the glass in the center. Don't press down on it, just rest your hands there. We don't want to make it any harder for them than it needs to be.
Finn, do we really have to do this?
Oh? Is that a hint of fear I sense, Miss Pemberly?
No, I feel stupid.
Just give it a chance. If nothing happens, we can stop.
Fine.
Alright, hi there.
Hi there.
Is there anyone that wishes to speak to us?
For an audio-only format, this is riveting stuff, Finn.
That doesn't mean there's no one to talk to, that just means no one was eager to. We're looking into the locked room murders that occurred 6 years ago. Is there anyone there who can help us? Anyone at all? Holy crap!
It's moving!
T-H-I-S-I-S-D-U... This is dumb? Eve!
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it.
You said you would take this seriously.
Well, I'm sorry. Nothing was happening.
Well, I expected a little bit of patience. It's not like we're shouting to someone on the other end of the quad. I don't know how long we have to try this to... God damn it, Eve, give it up.
Yeah, nice try. I know that's you.
It's seriously not you this time?
Good shtick, Finn, but...
Shh!
Did you just shush me?
Who are we speaking with?
Ah, yes. No. Such a lovely name.
You don't want to tell us your name? Yes. Okay. Well, you don't have to tell us if you don't want to. Are you a man or a woman?
No. A non-binary ghost. How progressive.
That's fine, too. This is my friend Eve Pemberly, and I'm...
It's moving before you finish the question. Is it allowed to do that?
F-I-N-N.
Well, your stalker is back.
Eve, seriously, stop. Can you read the answers for the show while I speak?
Fine.
Okay. Are you the one from the spirit box?
Yes.
Do you live here? Is that how you know me?
No.
Have you heard our show somehow?
No.
I don't understand. How do you know me then?
B-I-R-D-I-E.
No more. Can't do this.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry. I know I'm the one who started this, but...
This is going way too far, Finn.
What are you talking about?
Honestly, I didn't think you'd go this far to try and convince me. This is way out of hand.
You think that
You didn't even give the ghost a name, and there are plenty to choose from in our current case.
I didn't do this.
Bullshit.
You think I'd fake this just to try and convert you?
I don't want to, but I believe it a hell of a lot more than you've got a ghost stalker.
That wasn't... Damn it, how much evidence do I have to bring you before you start taking this seriously?
I don't believe in any of this, Finn. It's gonna take a hell of a lot more than tea leaves, Ouija boards, and tarot cards. That's for sure. Where the hell are you going? We're in the middle of recording.
Eve, I knew you were stubborn, but if you think I'm the kind of person that would... No, I'm leaving. If you're not going to acknowledge something when it happens right in front of you, then I'm better off doing this by myself. You want proof? I'll bring you some goddamn proof.
Well, sorry folks. I don't know what the hell has gotten into him. But next time, hopefully we'll get things back on track. No interviews with crazy people, no more paranormal visitors, and hopefully Finn will have cooled off by then. To all of our listeners, so long, farewell, and remember... Fuck it.
You just finished listening to Englewood After Dark, Episode 14, starring Dennis Ortman as Finn Nightingale, Hannah Brown as Eve Pemberly, Ostie Hobbs as Charles Huntington III, and Lyle Michael Pepperell as Nigel Hannessey. Written and sound designed by Hannah Brown, Dennis Ortman, and A. Rose. Special thanks to the talented Athan for our on-air music and Nicholas Gasparini for the opening theme.